Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Alex and Things podcast. I'm your host, Alex Wing. What's going on, y'all? We're back with another episode, man. Our ninth conversation on the podcast. As always, ready to go. Hella excited to talk about what we're talking about today. Just really quickly though, wanted to take a quick couple seconds to shout out all the beautiful and amazing mothers out there, man. We just had Mother's Day, and it's an important reminder, not just on Mother's Day, but for me personally, every single day to go out there and cherish, be grateful, and ultimately just represent everything that all of our mothers um, represent in order to do our part and not just growing every single day, but trying to leave the world better than we found it. And our parents and mothers specifically, they play a beautiful and special role in helping us understand what it means to truly love somebody, take care of somebody else, and just remember the importance of simple things like um, being grateful and just cherishing yours. So, yeah, man, just want to um, say a quick shout out to all the beautiful mothers out there, man. Also, we're in Mental Health Awareness Month. Um, so it's an important reminder to not forget about your own mental well-being in the process of going about your everyday life, because I know personally, mental health, it definitely was a struggle for me back when I was still a younger version of myself. I still view myself as relatively young. However, there was moments in my life earlier on where I felt like I really had no answers, and it was kind of like a natural growing process I had to go through, and fighting mental health was kind of a part of that journey for me. So after having gone through so many different things and learning so many different things and just feeling and understand different things when it comes to being challenged for my own good, it kind of really helped me weigh like the importance of not just mental health, but really balancing out the wellness and my overall well-being. So having, decent physical health, mental health, spiritual health, emotional health, those different kind of things all play a role in your overall well-being. And like, since we're in Mental Health Awareness Month, it's very important to remember to slow down when you're able to, take a couple breaths, and allow yourself to recenter and rediscover your love for things, your appreciation for things every single day, just so you can have that reminder, that important reminder of, why you're here, what you're doing, and ultimately that, you're special, you're a gift, just like all of us here on this on this beautiful earth, man. So much love to everybody, man. As always, if anyone would like to reach out and talk about mental health or just share personal stories, my social media links are in my bio, and I'm always open to any conversations, man. So, and I'm always trying to show support to other people too. So, but yeah, man. Also, oh, actually, one last thing before we get to the episode, man. Seasonal depression is a real thing. This is also something I used to experience as a kid, and for some reason, as much as I love the spring and summer season, for some reason, this transition is kind of the one that I used to really struggle with a lot, because summer was always kind of like, you're taught as a younger person, the structure normally occurs as you're working most of the year, whether it's like, school or work or whatever you're doing. And then summer's kind of like a semi free period. As a kid, it was more free than semi free, or not free at all. But yeah, so it's just like, you as I got older, I was like, summer, it seems to be changing every single year that I'm growing up and learning different things and discovering what it is I need to do with life and just growing up in the world and stuff like that. And I've always found the summer transition to be toughest, because summer is such a chunky amount of time. And uh, as you get older, you learn about how many, not only how many things you can do, but just the kind of things that you have to do. And I mean, I don't want to say things that you have to do, but just the imagination and the kind of obligation slash responsibility that comes with having to do, certain things like just being busy and, being committed to growing every single day and, playing your part in growing in your own story. So, yeah, man, just remember to take care of yourself and look out for yourself when it comes to things like that because you don't want to have to go into hopefully a great summer this year and not feel well because like obviously on top of that we've had a pandemic for over a year now and like while things seem like they're getting better you want to remember to put yourself first and care for yourself enough so that you can transition into next season or this summer on a positive note, man, and enjoy summer to the you know in ways only you know how to enjoy things. So, but yeah, man, like I said, much love to everybody, man, and y'all know if anyone needs a conversation, I'm not that difficult to reach. So, but yeah, man. Besides all that, this is also a very critical time in the sports season. That's what we wanted to. That's what I wanted to share on this episode today. Just the significance of all these different sports seasons going to the playoffs, and we also have another season starting up, and just the excitement around that because um, with COVID throwing off like the alignment of different seasons, like it's really it feels kind of good to have some kind of regularity and normalcy amongst like sports and playoff sports specifically because we have a couple seasons that are almost there. So I wanted to talk about mainly NBA playoff season and talk a little bit about the upcoming WNBA season while talking about a couple other sports here and there, but that'll mainly be minimal compared to basketball season because that's what's really on fire right now. So, but yeah, y'all, that's what we got going on right now. Um, Not much else left to say, but yeah, let's get right into the episode, man. So, obviously, I wanted to talk about basketball, but um, before we get into that, let's bring up what I wanted to mention before we get into basketball. Also, we have the international football season coming to an end. The main league that I follow is the English Premier League, and then also the Ultimate European, kind of like the playoffs, but for international football clubs. I follow the English Premier League and European, uh, the European football tournament is called the Champions League. That tournament it takes the best teams in Europe, and then they square off and then see who's going to be the champion of Europe that season, and which it changes every single season. But the English Premier League is like, uh, it's all English teams, so they're all based around like the UK and stuff like that. So my team, Liverpool, they've been struggling all season, so I don't really have much to say about that. But it's really interesting to see the Champions League final. It's two English teams. I don't like either one of them, and I wish neither of them could win. But Chelsea versus Manchester City is going to be very interesting. I'm really, it makes me feel really good to see two English teams again in the final. But the last time it happened, it was Liverpool versus Tottenham, and then Liverpool won that Champions League a couple years ago. But if I had to pick one team to win, I would pick Chelsea because I really don't like. I really am not the biggest fan. I mean, I'm not a hater. I don't believe I'm a hater for many things, but I'm just not the biggest fan of like Spanish leagues because they tend to take a lot of the best players, man. So hopefully, I mean, but also, I mean, well, I don't know what I was talking about there, but and I'm happy that Chelsea defeated Real Madrid, and then now they're playing Manchester City. But if I had to pick one, I would pick Chelsea because um, I don't like Real Madrid, but also I don't like Manchester City because in this past decade, like Manchester City really became rivals with like Liverpool. So if I had to pick one, I mean they're both kind of like rivals to Liverpool, honestly, but I'd rather just because Manchester City has been so dominant recently, I'd rather just Chelsea go ahead and take that Champions League trophy off their hands. So, but yeah, man. Besides that, we also have the National Hockey League playoffs, the NHL playoffs coming up soon, and the Caps were looking really good, man. Um, Alex Ovechkin, he's getting older, but he's still making plays for the team, whether he's scoring goals or creating other open opportunities for teammates. And we also have, this team is a lot different from the Caps teams that I knew growing up because the Caps they ain't used to fight that much, but now we have like a guy like Tom Wilson, he's throwing hands like almost every single night. So that's I guess that's the one unique thing about hockey that I would definitely say to people that don't watch hockey. Like, man, they be boxing, man. I tell you, it. I mean, they be getting penalties for it, but like, I guess that's like the beauty and like the entertainment of sports. So, shout out to the Caps, man. Hopefully, they can keep on pushing on and get a top seed for the new reformatted playoffs. I don't really have much clue as to how that's going to work, and I'm not a big fan of it, but it's part of like what I said earlier, the pandemic effect of like the pandemic effect on certain sports seasons, and like hockey was affected too because they literally restructured the whole like conference and playoff, like the conference structure and the playoff structure based off of like some new some new like divisions they made up. So I don't know if it's going to be just for 1 year, but hopefully it is because I'm not really a big fan of that. Like, just try to keep it as original as you can because like that's the best way for fans to follow it. At least fans like myself, but at least fans like myself that like follow so many different things and like in this instance like sports, it's not the easiest to change every little thing you're doing and have fans have to adapt all the time. So, but yeah, go Caps. Hopefully we can get that second Stanley soon, man. Um, and also I think that's everything for sports that are wrapping up their season for the most part. But yeah, so at this moment we have NBA basketball headed to the playoffs soon, man. And like I don't know about most people, but I know for me, I really love the idea of the play-in tournament because it adds so much more intrigue to the end of the season grind and like the the games that would used to the games that would used to mean like nothing toward the end of the season, they are a lot more like meaningful now because teams that are fighting in like the 7, 8, 9, even the 60s, so the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and maybe 12, if like the conference is that deep, those teams are really going to be like scrapping it out up until like probably the last game. And right now in the Western Conference, we have like the my Lakers just defeated the Suns, so like we're trying to get up out that play in, but I feel like our odds will be good either way if we do end up in that play-in tournament. Also, there was there's the Golden State Warriors. The Blazers just won up the Lakers, so they're in the sixth seed. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's still close either way. Got the Spurs, got the Grizzlies, and you got the Pelicans on the outside looking in, I think, and also the Kings. I don't know if they're eliminated yet, but it's just so many teams like competing, man. And it's just really beautiful to see. Like normally those teams on the outside, like the 10, 11, 12 teams, like the Kings, Pelicans, or whoever, they're on the outside looking in, ready to finish their season and just go on with the draft or whatever, and go home or whatever, right? But now like they're still close enough to battle for a chance to go into the playoffs. And before I continue to the Eastern Conference, like honestly, the plan was, I feel like a, I feel like um, it's a big, it's a big shout out to Damian Lillard because last season, I don't know if anybody remembers that, but the bubble, it was the first season that included an iteration of the playing tournament, right? And Damian Lillard said before the bubble, he don't want to go to the bubble if he's not competing for a chance to go to the playoffs and win. Like he's pretty much it's like what I said before. He's not trying to play no meaningless games. And what the NBA commissioner did, Adam Silver, he created the playing tournament so that toward the end of the season, most of those games they're not really meaningless. So that's just fire to me, man, and I love that. So, man, big shout out to Damian Lillard, man. Like his team is playing really good, and I feel like it's the playing tournament. It has a lot to do with just him saying that, him simply saying, him being a big superstar that he is, and one of the best players, and basically the bubble MVP. He was the bubble MVP. That really helped to spark the playing tournament coming to life for this season as well. So, man, big shout out to big shout out to Dame Dollar, man. Like great idea, man. Awesome idea that he was. I feel like he influenced. So, yeah, yeah, but yeah, man. For the Eastern Conference, we got the I think we got the Hawks at the fifth or sixth seed, or I think the Hawks should be the sixth seed. I can't remember. But right now in the plan, we got the Celtics, the Celtics. Oh no, I think the Heat are ahead of the Celtics, but Celtics, Pacers, Wizards, Hornets, and on the outside we got like the Bulls. I think the Raptors already got eliminated actually, but yeah, like so much star power, man. Like in the West, we got if the Lakers stay in, we got LeBron and AD. Hopefully they're healthy. You got Steph Curry, maybe Damian Lillard if they fall. Got John Morant. Got the Spurs with DeMar DeRozan, and then if the Pelicans somehow get in, like Zion, Brandon Ingram, it's gonna be really fun to watch, man. So we'll see. In the East, we got Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Kemba Walker. Who else? Demontis Sabonis and Karis LeVert, Russ and Brad Beal. It's gonna be so much fun to watch, man. And then who's below them? The Pacers, right? Oh no, no, no. Celtics. Oh, Hornets and LaMelo Ball, man. Like people are gonna want to watch that, and that's why the playing idea was such a great implementation into the NBA season, man. I hope that it sticks around, even though people are here and there with it. I mean, I feel like it really helps fans stay engaged, like toward the end of the season, and like at this point, anything you can do to help. I don't want to say it's all about ratings, but like just helping like spread awareness of the game and like growing people's appreciation for the game. I feel like that's like the main thing. Like if you can do that, then it'll be more easier to like drive growth and like new conversations about the game because like I feel like most fans are not as for the for the lack of a better term, not a, not many new fans in my honest opinion are like woke on the game. They're a lot younger. Fan bases are a lot younger. They're more relatively new into the game when it comes to knowing the game and supporting the game. So like anything you can do to help like drive new conversations to keep their interest, it'll help because their attention span is very casual and it's very their point of views are a little bit more casual when it comes to talking the game from a deeper level understanding. So, but yeah, man, on whichever end of the playing tournament conversation, whichever side of that you're on, no matter what, I feel like it's a great idea that keeps um not only will it keep fans engaged, but it low key or not low key, but it really keeps players accountable because like you can't throw away too many games. Just like how like the Lakers, LeBron James has been injured. Sadly, he's been injured. Hopefully, he get better soon. Lakers have been losing a lot of games. Even though I feel like our team, we have a lot of guys that should be stepping up, but I mean, it is what it is, man. Like we've had a lot of tough games as well. However, it keeps players accountable, and like it gives fans exactly what they're looking for, like players to be playing, and something important on the line. Like there's high stakes, man. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly give a little bit of playoff predictions, man. Hopefully, hopefully the Lakers they don't get into that playing tournament because I don't think the Lakers need to be playing any more games than they need to. However, if they do get into the playing tournament, of course they going in my estimation they're gonna win. But yeah, man, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I think is gonna happen in the playoffs. Obviously, assuming everyone is healthy, because like obviously anyone that loves sports and watches sports like passionately, none of us really like injuries, man. So and unusual, like unforeseen circumstances, pretty much like dudes getting ejected or like something like that, where we can't really predict that. It kind of happens, and we really don't like it because it's like, dang, that really twisted the tide of the game. Kind of like suspensions, like that happened in the 2016 finals that people still talk about to this day. So with like the Warriors and Draymond Green and against the Cavs and stuff like that. But I mean, I feel like that in that series it didn't matter because the Cavs they was on their way. But yeah, man, for the um for the Western Conference, I believe the Lakers should be able to win out, and the Blazers hopefully drop a game so that the Lakers can stay safe of the playing tournament and probably probably face the Clippers in the first round, which will be mad entertaining. Obviously, the Lakers will be at a disadvantage only because of health reasons. However, if we're able to get healthy at the right time, obviously like chemistry issues and like rhythm for like our main guys like LeBron and AD, that's going to be a difficult thing to fix within like a very small amount of time. I just believe if we're able to click, because in a series anything can flip in a heartbeat. So if the Lakers are able to catch a quick rhythm, steal good, I mean steal a road game because they both play in the same arena. Well, actually no, they playing the Clippers playing the Lakers arena. Never mind, my bad. Since most of the games are like all the games are like home games technically. If the Lakers can like steal a road game and find their rhythm, I feel like that'll instill enough like confidence in their other guys to get going for the rest of the series if that were to happen. Because the Clippers don't really have anybody that's going to check Anthony Davis, and I feel like last season proved it. If they were to meet Anthony Davis, he would have been the X factor. I feel like that's no different for as long as he's on the Lakers, and like we're gonna have to play the Clippers. Like Serge Ibaka, he's not gonna guard him, and Ivan Zubac, the former Laker, he's not gonna guard Anthony Davis. So I feel like the Lakers would give the Clippers everything they could handle and then move on, obviously. But the playing tournament, man, like whoever, I don't know if the Lakers gonna end up in it, but if they do, I feel like they're gonna get out of it. But if they play the Warriors in the 7-8 plan, oh, that's gonna make me feel some type of way because like I love Steph Curry, man. Like I don't know if people know, but I've been watching him since like I was in middle school, man. Like, I used to run home from school so I could catch the NCAA tournament and watch his games because like Davidson was rarely on TV. So and then like as he got better in the league, like it got harder, it got more difficult to support him and like talk about him as much because like I said earlier, that new wave of fans, like more not woke fans and more casual fans, like it kind of just like it's like the bandwagon wave pretty much. It's not the same talking to fans about it because like they don't really know much about like the history of the game, like where things came from before they got to the point that they are. So but yeah, man, like Stephen Curry, man, he's been lighting it up. So anybody that goes against the Warriors, like they gotta watch out, man, including my Lakers, because like we don't got dudes that's going like, I mean, we got people that are gonna check him, but it's not always gonna be like that because he can move off ball and on ball, and like sometimes he'll just he'll just pull from like 40, and then that's literally all she wrote. But I believe in my Lakers. I feel like we're gonna get out of the playing spot. Hopefully the Blazers can help us and drop a game or two so we can jump over them. But man, if that doesn't happen, I hope the Warriors drop down so we don't have to play them, so that we can just get our one dub, our one victory. So the playing tournament, if you're in the 7-8 matchup, you just got to win one game in order to advance to the playoffs, which I feel like the Lakers will do if they get into that position. But I don't know, man. It's up in the air if it's the Warriors against the Lakers. But yeah, in the other playing tournament, I feel like depending who gets in, I feel like I want to say the Spurs so bad because I don't like when the Spurs miss the playoffs, but their team is just not. It's not as good. It's not as good as traditional Spurs teams. But I guess that's the thing about like teams evolving and like growing over time. Like it's so amazing to see Greg Popovich still doing his thing and like coaching a young team and in ever changing league and stuff like that. It's like wow, this guy, he just there's nothing he can't. There's no situation that he cannot excel in pretty much. Like with the Lamarcus Aldridge situation and like the rumors around the trade deadline when they were talking about trading DeMar DeRozan. It's just like all that nonsense, and it's just like the Spurs are still gonna be the Spurs, like the good old saying. But I feel like the Spurs should get in unless like the Pelicans get healthy and they can catch up to the 9 and 10 seed to get into that playing bubble, playing tournament. I think it should be the Spurs. However, from my vantage point, I think it's going to be the Grizzlies because they're getting healthy. They're playing good. John Morant, he's doing his thing. He's being an impact player, man. Like when your lead guard or when your best player is an impact player like that, a la Russell Westbrook, like it just makes the game easier for your teammates. And then when your teammates are hitting shots, like obviously that opens up so much more. But I feel like the Grizzlies will advance, but the Spurs, they're playing really good too. So I'm gonna have to go with hopefully the Warriors and the Grizzlies advancing in the playing tournament in the West. And y'all already know, man, the Eastern Conference, like hopefully the Wizards can keep on moving up so that they can get that 8 seed. Because right now it's looking like the Sixers going to be the first seed, or I think the Nets are like 2 or 3 games behind them. I'm not really, I can't remember the exact number, but um, whichever team, whichever team, whichever team. Oh wait, yeah. So the Wizards can get the 7 or the 8 seed. So I would love for the Wizards to match up against either the Nets or the Sixers because I mean that's the thing about the Wizards, man. Like they play so many good games. I don't know how many people watch the Wizards, but like I do because like I support local teams and everything. And plus now they got Russell Westbrook. Of course I'm going to watch. But the Wizards have given the Nets and Bucks some good matchups this year. The Sixers not as much, even though they could. But the Sixers they just have a lot of 3 point shooting, man. Like the Wizards are dead ass terrible at guarding the 3 point line. Even though they get back on 3 point shots when teams like get second chance points and um 3 point shots in transition. Like the Wizards get back, but like their hands don't be up quick enough, man. So and even my superstition just tells me like the Wizards just have terrible luck. Like they'll play great defense, right? And then the 3 point shots will still go in either way. So it doesn't really matter for real. But the Wizards, hopefully they can get into the 7 or 8 seed so they can kind of control their destiny because the 8 seed has 2 chances to get into the playoffs. If they lose the 7-8 seed game, they all they have to do is just beat the winner of the 9-10 seed game, which that would give the Wizards more comfort. Even though I don't feel like they really need that, I would want them as a supporter of them. I'd want them to control their destiny. So there's that. I feel like the Celtics, if they play the Wizards, they're gonna get knocked out because the last game that the Celtics played the Wizards, it was kind of messed up. Bradley Beal slipped on the floor because they ain't clean it, and that game was rigged. It's like nah, but not for real. The Wizards have great matchup, man. Like they could score with anybody, and like in this league, defense is more like timely than it is consistent. So if you play defense at the right time, like how the Wizards have been doing recently, like you have a great shot to make magic happen, man. So I'm predicting the Wizards get in from the 7-8 spot and the 9-10 spot. Oh, that's gonna be really tough, man. That's gonna be very tough. The Pacers are a very good team, but the Hornets are entertaining, man. So I'm gonna have to say the Hornets because their team is really good, man. They have LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Devontae Graham, PJ Washington, um, Miles Bridges. Man, they have a bunch of guys, man. Like they just lost yesterday, which helps the Wizards and the Pacers, but they lost to the Pelicans. That actually helps the Pelicans as well, help them get up closer to the 9-10 spot. But Pelicans, man, I mean the Hornets, man, like they're gonna be a ratings grabber, man. Like they're gonna draw so much attention because of LaMelo Ball. But also their team is playing really good, and their commentators are really good too, man. They're probably the best commentators in the league. The Hornets commentators, that is. So I think the Wizards and the Hornets get in from the Eastern Conference, and for the playoffs, man, I'm really hoping that this year, unlike most years, because it's already been so unpredictable and like affected by like something like COVID, like the pandemic. I really hope something happens like when the '06-'07 Warriors, I believe that was the year, the Baron Davis, Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson Warriors, they beat the 1 seeded Mavericks. So I hope something like that, something crazy like that happens where like the Wizards or like the Hornets they upset like a 1-2 seed and just mess up everybody's bracket pretty much in like March Madness terms, mess up everybody's bracket because the Nets have been really inconsistent with their health. So like I feel like this is the year that they shouldn't win. And the Bucks, Giannis, he's been turning up. So like he's been hitting his jumpers and everything. So I'm just like, maybe this is the year for them. And then Joel Embiid, he's been playing like an MVP. Oh, and also in the MVP race, by the way, for me personally, it's really cool to see an international player probably win it 3 years in a row. Like that just doesn't happen that often. So like and Hakeem Olajuwon, I think he approved Joel Embiid winning MVP, but right now I feel like it's between him at this point, him and Nikola Jokic. So that'd be really cool to see, man, because they've really been playing good all season long. But yeah, I feel like in the Eastern Conference, no matter what happens, I feel like the Nets just have so much offense, man. Like when it comes down to it, they got so much offense, and like I said earlier about the Wizards, defense in this league is more timely than it is consistent. And like the Nets have not been consistent on defense, but they play it in spurts when they need to. So hopefully they can carry that over into the playoffs and like this new team, they can give us an entertaining playoff run and hopefully meet like a great team in the Western Conference when they go to the finals. I feel like they're going to the finals no matter what happens. As much as I want like something crazy to happen, I feel like the Sixers don't have enough skill on the wing to compete with those guys. Even though they have Joel Embiid, who's gonna like kind of like even that out to a degree, but like he would have to really dominate and like go quick with a lot of his touches because like I'm presuming that the Nets, they're gonna have to double him anyway. So like why wait? Why wait until he's like 1, 2 dribbles, 3 dribbles into the paint? He's about to already go to his like left or right shoulder, whatever he's gonna do. Might as well just get the ball out of his hands as soon as possible and make somebody else beat you. That's not Joel Embiid. So, and I'm thinking the Nets can do that. So I'm thinking that they'll go to the finals. Even in the West though, man. Like I don't know because I really want to see Giannis do good, man. Because like when you see guys like that, he's basically a jump shot away from like being like the next like most dominant player in the league. So, but right now, most fans like myself, I'm kind of like in wait and see mode with Giannis. So hopefully he can get it together and deliver a great playoff run for the Bucks and for NBA fans in general. But yeah, I feel like the Nets are gonna run the table in the East and give us hopefully a couple good series. I'm really excited for the Eastern Conference Finals. Hopefully it's like some combination of like those 1, 2, 3 teams, and they're squaring off with each other and giving us a great pre-final series. But in the Western Conference, I feel like the Suns and the Jazz, they have a great chance to like do something because they've been so consistent. They have the best chemistry. They've been the most consistent, and the star teams like the Lakers and like the Blazers, pretty much like the good teams that would normally be near the top of the conference. Um, they're they've been a little bit inconsistent this season, so like they're a little bit on the lower tier end of like the conference standing. So there's that. However, if I feel like the Lakers are healthy, they will run the table in the Western Conference, man. I mean, I can't twist it any other way, man. Like LeBron and AD, like they're just proven. Like they played so good last year. Like how can you bet against them until they really seem like they're against the wall? So and right now it's that funny thing is we're in that exact situation right now where like the Lakers are really against the wall. So hopefully the Lakers can get healthy and get their rhythm. And also because we really need to defeat the Clippers, man. Like I know it'll really seem like an odd series because the Lakers haven't been healthy, and the others for the Lakers, as Shaquille O'Neal always says, the others have not been playing good at all. So I don't know, man. Like my belief in the Lakers, it runs really deep, man. It's almost 80% of my life I've been a Lakers fan. Well, pretty much 100% because ever since I watched basketball, that was the team I first laid my eyes on. So, but yeah, man, if the Lakers are healthy and they have a rhythm, they will be going to the finals. That's what I'm presuming. But their biggest challenge probably going to be like teams like even though we just beat the Suns, there'll be a challenge because they have amazing guard play and like it's not easy to slow down a legendary point guard like Chris Paul and then like an otherworldly scorer like Devin Booker. They got those guys and they got young athletes on on their squad, man. Like they got DeAndre Ayton, they got Mikal Bridges. got Cam Johnson. They got some tall dudes, man, and they got like athleticism. They could shoot the ball, and Jay Crowder as well. So the Suns are gonna be a problem. The Nuggets, it's tough. It's tough to say because they don't have Jamal Murray anymore. So like, I mean, they're still playing good though because Jokic is that good, man. Like he gets guys involved and like guys are making shots. Michael Porter Jr. He's turning up. He's turning up. And they got other guys as well, like Paul Millsap and Campazzo. He's playing really good in like in the place of Jamal Murray, like making up for like his offense by playing great defense and making his open threes and stuff like that. Also, there's obviously the Warriors and the Grizzlies and the Blazers all have great guards. Dame Lillard, CJ McCollum, Steph Curry, John Morant. I don't feel like this is the year for any of them to be doing something crazy, but I feel like they can give us a couple great series depending on how far they get. But yeah, man, I feel like it's going to be like what I said earlier in my prediction episode, like 5 months ago now. It's going to be Lakers and it's going to be Nets in the finals. Assuming everybody's healthy, Lakers will be going back to back for the first time in a decade, which would be so, so crazy with everything that happened in 2020 as a Lakers fan and as a personal diehard Kobe fan, man. So that's my take on the NBA playoffs, man, and just how everything has just been so crazy right now. But it's been very hype and it's been very hectic to like watch and keep up with. And it's kind of been like with COVID and the pandemic as well. Like this season has really been unlike any other for real. So that's my prediction for what's gonna happen in the playoffs, y'all. Lakers back on top, presuming all conditions, like I said, health, chemistry, rhythm, luck of the draw, and assuming those conditions are met, like to the benefit of the Lakers, obviously. So, but yeah, also the last thing I wanted to really talk about sports wise though, the commencement of the WNBA's 25th season. The WNBA has been on fire recently, man. The free agency market has been very interesting. A lot of players switching teams, like most notably, my favorite WNBA player of all time, Candace Parker, going from the LA Sparks. It's crazy she was on the Sparks when at the same time I loved and I fell in love with Kobe Bryant, who was on the Lakers. That's really crazy, man. She goes from the LA Sparks after 12, 13, 14 years to the Chicago Sky. That team is going to be very good, man. Ali Quigley, Courtney Vandersloot, so much young talent as well. And I think they just got Gabby Williams as well. Like she's not gonna play this season, but like they're gonna be very good, man. Um, and what's it called? Um, WNBA has been on fire recently, right? With free agency, they got new jerseys, which I feel like those jerseys are low key better than some of the NBA jerseys that I've seen. But they had also there was an article I read. It didn't really get much traction, but I saw it, I read it, and I was like, okay, as long as I see a sliver of possibility, I'm going to run with it. I'm going to run with it. The WNBA commissioner Kathy Engelbert, she kind of teased it a little bit. She was just pretty much saying because because of all the recent recent spark and attention with like the women's basketball game, most notably because of like the NCAA tournament and the amount of amazing young prospects that have like shown how good they can be, it sparked conversations of like expansion in the WNBA because there's only 12 teams, 140 so spots, and there's like only 36 um, spots in the WNBA draft, and there's like 50, 60, 70 ladies that usually declare every year, and like this year was no different. And like the talent pool in this year's draft was so crazy, and good players are gonna get left out either way because even if the ladies that got drafted, like they get drafted at the training camp. Like most teams already have like almost they have teams have almost filled out their whole roster. So some ladies might still get cut. And because of all these different conversations that are going around, I read that article on expansion. And then Kathy Engelbert, she's pretty much just she ain't really say much about it, but she was talking about how like expansion is definitely a possibility if like the league does very well this season, which I'm hoping for that, and that's why I try to raise awareness on the WNBA by talking about it with my friends that love the WNBA and like just trying to see if other people that have an open mind and a deep appreciation for like sports and basketball, um, if they're I'm trying to help other people like find that bridge to not just only watch the NBA but watch the sister league as well. Like the WNBA is like the sister league to the NBA. To the NBA. The NBA can also do more on their part too. And I know players like Kyrie Irving. He helped pay a lot of WNBA player salaries last season when like the bubble and the pandemic was happening. And just stuff like that. Like the NBA should like follow Kyrie's lead and continue to help raise awareness in the game and stuff like that, because a lot of the growth right now is basically it's kind of just in the women's game. The March Madness tournament that helped do so much great things for the league because people are paying attention now and they're talking about it now. So like the WNBA is in a very good spot, and I just look forward to seeing how much more how much more interaction and engagement we can get from a fan level, because obviously there's still going to be a lot of work to do in order to get those um, get that level of support that loyal fans and like real fans of like the WNBA are looking for. And obviously it's going to be processed, but a conversation, one interaction at a time, one word spread about the WNBA will always help. So I'm really looking forward to the season, man. They also just dropped the schedule too, by the way. And oh man, like the season starts this week, May 14th and 15th. I'm really looking forward to seeing, like, there's so many good games, but my main game, I think there's also actually before I go to the game that I'm looking forward to, there's another game. I think the Aces are taking on the Seattle Storm, finals rematch. It's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy. The Aces are so loaded, man. They are so loaded. Liz Cambage, Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum. I think they just picked up Chelsea Gray as well. Crazy. And then you got the Seattle Storm. They're not going anywhere. Brianna Stewart. She just won another title overseas. That's crazy. She has so many championship accomplishments. She has so many high level accomplishments at her young age already. They still got Sue Bird. Their team is loaded, man. Um, and the game that I'm looking forward to though is I think on Saturday, May 15th, when my favorite player, Candace Parker, she's going up against the Mystics, who I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of the Sparks. I'm a fan of wherever Candace Parker goes, and I'm a fan of the Mystics. So that's gonna be a very interesting matchup to see, man, because they're going. It's Candace versus Elena Deladon, two of the best players the W has ever seen. It's gonna be a blast, man. Like this season's gonna be very fun, and I'm just looking forward to it all, man. Like I'm mainly looking forward to people um raising more awareness on like just the popularity and like the genuine greatness that comes with the WNBA. Like it's no different from other sports. It's just people have jokes about it that I don't really put too much weight on, and they don't really even make much sense because like people can be good at basketball in their capacity, and it could still be greatness because like not everybody can be in the league. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like put some respect on these players, specifically these WNBA and women's basketball players in general. So, oh, and also one more thing I wanted to mention, man. Like I'm really hoping, and I don't want to predict it, but I have a gut feeling that like within the next handful of years, like we're gonna have WNBA expansion teams, and like they're gonna change the draft rule to make it that younger WNBA players, if they want to take control of their career, they can enter the draft early, because players like Paige Beckers and like Caitlin Clark, they really sparked the conversation because they've had such tremendous seasons and like players are talking about them a lot. Most notably like Paige Beckers, because like she played for UConn, she's very popular. But yeah, man, like because of those freshmen and like just young players being so good, I feel like you should not restrict them from choices that they want to make. But um, who knows, man? That's something that I feel like is gonna see change in the next few years, because the W is only gonna get more. The W is only gonna continue to grow, and the only way up from here is up, pretty much. So hope they do that for the sake of the game, because the game is in really good hands right now, man. So much young talent that I'm looking forward to watching. I'm mainly gonna be watching Dejanay Carrington playing for the Sun, the Connecticut Sun. I'm gonna also be watching Kaiser Gondresick, the fourth overall pick, went to the Fever, and I'm also gonna be watching the third pick, Gary McDonald play for the Dream, play for the Atlanta Dream. So I know there's gonna be a lot of players to watch, but I'm just looking forward to it all, man. If you haven't already, consider buying WNBA League Pass, man, because you're gonna get to watch all these great young players and WNBA teams in their 25th season, man. They've really been doing it right. Just all the hype is it's come at the right time. So I just hope that people continue to spread awareness on the game and help it grow and just help us as a community put the game in a place, like I said earlier, put it in a place that's better than how we found it, pretty much. So it's been 25 years, and players and um, the representatives for the WNBA, their wishes to have 25 more awesome years. So let's try and carry on, and try and do our part as fans and supporters of the game. So, but yeah, man, that's pretty much going to do it for this episode. It was pretty much a sports check-in slash mental health check-in in this part of the season because there's just so many things going on, and it's just really crazy right now. So try and do your part to take care of yourself first, so that you can enjoy and appreciate um, all the life that's taking place around us. Honestly, so. But yeah, man. Um, Episode 9 of the Alex and Things podcast. Um, I'm Alex Wing. I appreciate every single one of y'all. If y'all made it this far in the episode, man, as always, y'all know the love and support means so much to me. No matter what it is that I'm doing, I'm always appreciative of all the feedback, comments, thoughts, shared sentiments, all that stuff, man. And like I say, y'all, like I always try to say, I'm not that difficult to reach, and um, I'm always down to have a conversation with somebody. So no matter what it is, man, y'all know I'm here for y'all, man. So, but yeah, y'all, from from us on our next conversation on this podcast, I'm Alex Wingman. I look forward to catching y'all on our next episode, which will be out real soon, man. Till next time, y'all. Everybody be easy, be safe. Much love to y'all, man. Hope to catch y'all next time, man. Much love and peace, y'all.